I want to make this video specifically to the young man they call VDM. You know, I try as much as possible not to go there because VDM has a cult following such that his followers do not see reason. Anybody that calls his name, you have to say something good about him, otherwise you'll be lashed on the internet. However, I have vowed that anything that concerns Peter Obi, I must make a comment, irrespective of who you are. Now, I heard VDM made a comment and he said that he was an obedient before. He was willing to die for Peter Obi, and that when the election result came out and it was obvious that he was rigged out, instead of him to allow the people to do what they wanted to do, he decided to go to court, thereby killing the momentum of the type of, reaction that his followers would have done. And I'm telling you, VDM, that if Peter Obi had allowed or given a go-ahead, either consciously or unconsciously, for the masses to react, that would have been the end of his political career. That would have been the end. Probably he would have even been, this is Nigeria. The best decision he took at that time was exploring the availability of the machinery of the system, and said, okay, why did you react? Maybe if you had gone to court, the court would have won. Now he has done all that. He contested an election, and we, the obedient, believe he won. Then he explored the system, the availability of the system, by going to court, up to the Supreme Court. We saw what the courts did. We saw what the Supreme Court did. We saw what INEC did. Now we have a laydown of the atrocities of what the system can offer. Now, if he goes into another election and such a thing repeats itself, then we have the option of reaction. Now, reaction, reaction. You see, whether we like it or not, Peter Obi is an Igbo man. And you know the stigma associated with being an Igbo in Nigeria. Let's say, for instance, he gives the go-ahead for a reaction, and then towards somewhere, everybody starts pulling out. Before you know it, it will be Igbo versus Nigeria. Before you know it, another Biafra matter comes up again. So I believe, I don't envy the position of Peter Obi. Any other person who was robbed of his political victory would have had an easy chance or a leeway of provoking the system to react, but not Peter Obi. If Peter Obi had reacted and the reaction did not yield the result we wanted, he wouldn't be contesting the second time. So, for me, I believe VDM is in a dilemma. I think VDM is more concerned in maintaining his followership. He knows that if he put his weight behind Tinubu, he will lose a large chunk of his support base, who are mostly obedience, by the way. And if he puts his weight behind Peter Obi, he's also going to lose his chunk of followers, who are also supporters of Tinubu. So the best way to do that is to be in the middle. One day you are condemning Tinubu, the other day you are condemning Peter Obi. Nobody knows exactly where you are. Now, let me pick my word. Okay, VDM stands at a very, very pivotal point in the history of Nigeria. VDM has a chunk of voters. Now, I'm not saying you should sell your vote or lean to my candidate or lean to Peter Obi, but I'd rather that I see where you lean. I see where your pendulum leans. Right now, I cannot particularly place where your pendulum swings to. Is it with the people's choice? Because those who want a better Nigeria, you know where they pitch their tent. Those who want Nigeria to continue in these nefarious activities of looting, grabbing, and snatching, you know where they are. So where exactly do you belong? You belong with the old system, or you want a new system? That is me. This video is not an attack. Please, your rattle, whatever you call yourself, it's not an attack. I think I'm a very smart person, and I like to read between the lines. When you say that you stop supporting Peter Obi because after the election he chose to go to court, that for me is suspect and it's questionable. He has a right to peace. After it was Goodluck Jonathan who picked a phone call and said his blood is not what, his political ambition is not worth the blood of Nigerians, and he was hailed out all over the world. I believe that you don't need to be told to react. Peter Obi doesn't need to tell you to go and react. If you want to react, you react. You don't need to get a signal from him to, okay, you guys go and react. If you truly want Nigeria and you believe reaction is the solution, you do it yourself. You don't need a nod from Peter Obi to do it. So telling me that it is because Peter Obi went to court, that was why you stopped supporting him, for me, that excuse is lame. If you ask me, the excuse is lame. I respect the fact that you're popular. I respect the fact that you have some cult followership that will not want to see you do wrong. Once anybody comes and challenge your perspective, they get blown down by your supporters. But then it is what it is. We have to say what it is, because I am unapologetically obedient, die hard. And any insinuation that casts aspersions or negativity towards my candidate, I will react. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how much popularity you have gained, because to every action it begets an equal and opposite reaction. My name is Magnus Oraka. Please follow this page and share this post now.